Hi, thanks for joining me today. It's Geraldine from the Paper Puffin Studio, and today I'm going to show you how to make this fun pocket card. You can place into the pocket these tags or bookmarks. You can see how we do that by just slipping them into this front pocket. This will also fit into an A2 envelope. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Now let's get started. Let's begin by reviewing all of the pieces you're going to need to build this card. You'll need your base color measuring 5.5 by 8.5 inches. You'll need 2 pieces of your base color, each measuring 2 inches by 5.25 inches. You also will need white cardstock, 1 piece measuring 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and 2 pieces each measuring 1 7/8 by 4.5 inches. For your designer series paper, you're going to need to cut 1 piece that measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then 2 pieces each measuring 3 inches by 4 1/8 of an inch. You're now ready to score the base of your card. So because this is a standard size, you're going to just be scoring right down the middle at 4 1/4 inches. I'll go ahead and do that and then fold and burnish. I will now go ahead and attach the piece of designer series paper to the front and then the piece of white cardstock to the inside panel. For the next step, I'm going to go ahead and punch out this shape for the top of each of the tags or bookmarks. You'll just insert the paper in, line up your paper on the back side, and punch. This will give you the decorative edge for the top. I'll do that for both. And now I'm ready to start stamping the images for the pieces that go on the front of these tags. For the images on the tags, I've chosen to use Snowfront for this. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting the images on this small piece of white cardstock. I'm starting with the Mossy Meadow Green on this image, and I'm going to stamp it just about in the center of the piece of paper. Now I'm going to take another image of a tree. I'm going to ink it up with the Mossy Meadow, but then I'm going to stamp off the first layer of ink, and then I'll use the image for a background tree. I'll do that again one more time. Now that I've got the trees placed where I want those, I'm going to use this image and I'm going to ink this up and place it here. The color that I've chosen for this image is Crumb Cake, so I'll just ink up the image, and then I'm going to be placing the image right about here. I'm now ready for the next stamp. For this large tree, I'm using Early Espresso, and I'm inking it up. I'll be using this one full strength as well. And I'm going to place this image right about here. I'm now using Misty Moonlight to ink up the image for the snowman. And the snowman will get placed right here. And now I'm going to put the Misty Moonlight ink on the sentiment, Merry Christmas, which I'll then stamp on the top of this tag. Now I'm ready to attach this to this for a background. I went ahead and stamped these images on the other tag to make it just a little bit different. And now I'm going to use some Tombow glue, and I'm going to put some glue on the roof of the cabin as well as on the trees and a little bit on the mountain on this one. And then over here I'll put some Tombow glue around the snowman and then on the trees. Then I'll sprinkle with dazzling diamonds and have to wait for it to dry. Now just to show you, I've got the dazzling diamonds on. Hopefully you can see it in the light. And I'm going to have to wait for these to dry, so I'm going to go ahead and make the pocket for the front of my card. To make the front pocket, I'm taking the 2 pieces of designer series paper, and I'm going to cut one of them from the left corner to the right, and then this other piece I'll cut from the right top to the bottom. When I do this, because designer series paper is kind of delicate, I place the paper in the track of the trimmer, but I don't start from the tip. I start my blade just beyond the tip and go back. That prevents the tip from getting squashed. I'll do that again, but with the other piece. So remember, for this piece now I'm going in the opposite direction from the right corner to the left. I'll line up the piece of paper in the track, and then I'll place my blade in the middle and make the cut. Now I'm ready to attach this piece and this piece overlapping onto the front of the card. To attach these 2 pieces, I'm going to be using tear and tape. So I'm going to flip over these pieces, and I'm going to be putting tear and tape along the bottom and the side for each piece. Then I'm ready to adhere them to the front of the card. I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll pick up there. I've stamped the image for the front of the card, sending warm Christmas wishes. This came from Rustic Retreat. I then used the tag punch to cut out the background and then a die. Now I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals, and it's going to get attached here, and I'll put a couple of rhinestones on either end to embellish it a little bit. So here we have the finished card. You can see the base of the card with its pocket and the 2 tags or bookmarks. When you take these tags, they each will fit inside the front pocket. I've made another one as well, and for this one I used a different stamp set. I used Holiday Home for this one. So I've got the 2 tags and the base of the card. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.